Our self-esteem depends on how we see our qualities. If we are rich, tall, and healthy, and think that these features are positive, our self-esteem will be high. If we are alone, poor, and sick, and think that these features are negative, our self-esteem will be low. People often think these values are fixed, but history shows they're not. Long ago, having fair skin was good because it meant a higher social status. Nowadays, being tan is seen as positive. This shows that what we value in ourselves can change. Values can shift when things are connected. If we link a bad quality with a good one, the bad one seems better. Marketing uses this idea with testimonials to make products look good. We want to do the same for our negative qualities that bring down our self-esteem. So we made some videos pointing out common negative qualities. For each one, there's a list of people who share it. Knowing that we are not alone may help to render them less negative and more tolerable. Enjoy watching and learning. Albert Einstein 1879–1955 was a naturalized Swiss and American-German physicist. Generally considered the most important physicist of the 20th century, known to the general public, also for the formula of the mass energy equivalence, recognized as the most famous equation in the world, and for all his works, which also had a strong influence on the philosophy of science. In 1935, Einstein, Boris Podolsky, and Nathan Rosen published a paper in which they proved that the phenomenon of entanglement theoretically derives from the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics, considered paradoxical because incompatible with special relativity. Podolsky went on to commit a grave blunder in Einstein's view when he leaked the advance report of the EPR finding published by the New York Times. Einstein was so upset by Podolsky's indiscretion that he never spoke with him again. Liliana Segre, born 1930, is an Italian activist and politician, Holocaust survivor, and witness of the Italian Shoah. In January 1944, she was deported from Platform 21 of Milano Centrale station to the concentration camp of Auschwitz-Birkenau, which she reached after a 7-day journey. She was put into forced labor at an ammunition factory for about a year. Segre regained her freedom in May 1945 from the Malchow camp, a subcamp of the Ravensbrück concentration camp, which was liberated by the Red Army. Segre declared, "I don't forgive, and I don't forget, but I don't hate." Segre quoted Primo Levi, who was also never able to forgive his captors. He declared, "I have no tendency to forgive, I have never forgiven any of our enemies." Lieutenant Dan Taylor is a character in the Forrest Gump novel and movie. He was most likely born in the 1930s or 1940s. He was Forrest's platoon leader during the Vietnam War in 1969 and later becomes Forrest's shrimp boat partner in the Bub Gump Shrimp Company and best friend. He is played by Gary Sinise. During an airstrike against Viet Cong, Forrest wishes to save Bubba, and while searching for him, he finds and rescues 5 of his fellow soldiers, including Lieutenant Dan, who was badly wounded in the legs. The legs have to be amputated, and Lieutenant Dan, who rather wanted to die as a hero than living as a cripple, does not forgive Forrest for saving his life. Dan's acceptance and forgiveness comes only after a very long time. Anine, the Call of the Wild Buck, is a powerful 140 pound stri Bernard, Scotch Collie mix, happily living in California's Santa Clara Valley. One night, Buck is kidnapped and shipped to Seattle, where he is confined in a crate, starved, and ill-treated. When released, Buck attacks his handler, the man in the red sweater, who teaches Buck the law of club and fang. The man shows some kindness, after Buck demonstrates obedience. Spitz is Bick's main antagonist during the first 3 chapters of the novel. He is Bick's archenemy and the leader of the team. After watching how Curly died from Husky's attack, Spitz laughed at her fate, and from that minute on, he became Bick's arch-nemesis, because Buck hated the fact that he laughed at his friend's death. Buck never forgave Spitz for that laughter.